So hi friends and welcome back. Now today we had reached the second last portion of our module 2, that is conformal mapping and complex transformation. Okay, so in previous video we had discussed about the W is equals to sin Z mapping. So that video you can see on this screen. Okay, so this is the video which we had discussed in the previous lecture. So in today's video we will discuss about the numericals on W is equals to sin Z transformation and a new transformation, that is a Mobius transformation. Okay, so I hope you will see the lecture till the end, and if you had any doubts then please ask me. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. So the first numerical of W is equals to sin Z mapping, which had asked in the GTU in the year 2012. Okay, so this is the important question. So show that the transformation W is equals to sin Z maps the top half y is greater than 0 of the line x is equals to c1 and c1 is between minus pi by 2 and 0 in 1-to-1 manner onto the half v is greater than 0 of the left hand branch of the hyperbola u square upon sin square c1 minus v square upon cos square c1 equals to 1. Okay, so this question says that this line x is equals to c1 and c1 is between minus pi by 2 to 0 maps the 1-to-1 region on the left hand side of this hyperbola. Okay, so how I will show. So the solution is, first here it is given that W is equals to sin Z mapping. Okay, so our first step we will do. So what is W? W is u plus iv, and what is Z? Z is x plus iy. Okay, so u plus iv equals to sin x into cos of iy plus cos x into sin of iy. Okay, we had expanded this sine function with the addition formula of sine, that is sin of a plus b, which is equals to sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b. Okay, so this is the addition formula of sine function. Now there are two important results which we had discussed earlier also. Now I will tell that cos of iy is equals to cos of hyperbolic y, and sin of iy is equals to I sin hyperbolic y. Okay, so this is the important, so these two are the important results, so remember these results. Okay, so according to these results we will substitute cos of hyperbolic y here and I sin of hyperbolic y here. So u plus iv equals to sin x into cos of hyperbolic y plus cos x into I sin hyperbolic y. Okay, now we will separate the real and imaginary part. So u equals to sin x into cos hyperbolic y is the real part, and v is equals to this cos x and sin into sin hyperbolic y is the imaginary part. But in the question it is given that x is equals to c1, so we will put u is equals to sin of c1 into cos of hyperbolic y and cos of c1 into sin of hyperbolic y. Now one thing I had forgot to say, that whenever in the question it is not mentioned that we have to map which region, here hyperbola is mentioned, but in the question where it is not mentioned that which type of equation we will get in the final answer, so we have to remember the two cases of the W is equals to sin Z mapping. That is, first case was when x is constant and when y is constant. So what was the cases? That when x is constant, the equation we are getting is of the hyperbola, and when y is constant, then we are getting the equation of the ellipse. Okay, so remember that conditions. So here it is given that x is constant, so we are getting the equation of the hyperbola. Okay, here it is mentioned, so no worries, but where it is not mentioned, then we have to remember the two cases of W is equals to sin Z mapping. Okay, so we had separated our real and imaginary parts. Now here it is given that y is greater than 0 and C1 is between minus pi by 2 to 0. Now the unit circle comes into picture. So this is the unit circle. Okay, so this minus pi by 2 will be here and 0 will be here. So this region is the fourth quadrant in the unit circle. Okay, so in fourth quadrant cos function is positive and its conjugate, that is sec, is also positive, and all other trigonometric functions are negative. So here it is sine and cos. So what will be positive and what will be negative? So here cos of C1 will be positive and sine of C1 will be negative. Okay, so due to these conditions we will get the conditions for u and v. So u is sine C1 into cos of hyperbolic y, and also y is also positive. So cos of hyperbolic y will be positive, but sine of C1 is negative. So negative into positive will be what? Negative. So u will be negative. Now for v, so here cos of C1 is positive and sine of C1 is negative. So here cos of C1 will be positive and sine of hyperbolic y is there, so y is positive, so sine of hyperbolic y will be positive. Okay, so positive into positive will be positive only, so v will be greater than 0. Okay, so remember these two conditions we will require when we will draw the graph. So our u and v is, u is sine of C1 into cos hyperbolic y and v is cos of C1 into sine hyperbolic y. Now we have to bring this equation, that is equation of hyperbola. So for that I had told in the previous lecture of w is equals to sin z mapping that whichever term is constant we have to bring in the denominator. So u upon sin C1 equals to cos hyperbolic y, let's say equation 1, and v upon cos of C1 equals to sine hyperbolic y, let's say equation 2. Now to bring this equation we have to square and subtract, that is squaring equation 1 and squaring equation 2 and subtracting them, that is equation 1 square minus equation 2 square. So we will get u square upon sine square of C1 equals to, let's say we will write directly, so u square upon sine square of C1 minus v square upon cos square of C1 is equals to cos hyperbolic square y minus sine of hyperbolic square y. Okay, so now we have to expand this term. So cos hyperbolic square y minus sine hyperbolic square y will be equals to, now in previous lecture I had told that what is cos of hyperbolic y, which is e raised to y plus e raised to minus y divided by 2 the whole square minus, so again sine of hyperbolic y can be written as e raised to y minus e raised to minus y divided by 2 the whole square. Okay, so now we will expand. So e raised to 2y plus e raised to minus 2y plus 2 into bracket e raised to y into e raised to minus y divided by 4 because square is there, minus e raised to 2y plus e raised to minus 2y minus 2 into e raised to y into e raised to minus y. Okay, and divide by 4. So these two terms have same LCM, so we can write it together. So it is 4. Now this e raised to y into e raised to minus y will be 1. Okay, so here 1. Now we will open this bracket. So this is minus e raised to 2y, again here minus will come and here plus will come. Okay, so this will be e raised to y into e raised to minus y will be 1. Okay, now this e raised to 2y and minus e raised to 2y gets cancelled, this plus e raised to minus 2y and minus e raised to minus 2y gets cancelled, this plus 2 and plus 2 gets added and we will get 4 upon 4 which is equals to 1. Okay, so this cos hyperbolic square y minus sine hyperbolic square y will be 1. Okay, so we had derived the given equation of hyperbola, that is u square upon sin square c1 minus v square upon cos square c1 equals to 1. Now we will see the graph. So what was the conditions? That is c1 is between minus pi by 2 to 0 and u is negative and v is positive. Okay, so first we will draw the graph in the z plane. So this is the z plane and this is x axis, this is y axis. So c1 is between minus pi by 2 and 0. Okay, so x is equals to minus pi by 2 line will be here. What is minus pi by 2? It is minus 3.14 divided by 2. So it will be 1.54 or 1.57 something, minus 1.57 something. Okay, so let's say this is minus pi by 2 comma 0. So this is the line x is equals to minus pi by 2. X is equals to minus pi by 2. So in the equation it is mentioned that it is between minus pi by 2 and 0. So here it is 0 comma 0. So the region, and also it is mentioned that y is positive. That means the upper half of the z plane is considered and lower half of the z plane is removed. So the upper half is considered and c1 is between minus pi by 2 and 0. So it is here. Okay, so this region is taken. Okay, so this region is transformed into the hyperbola, into the left hand side region of the hyperbola. Okay, so this is the w plane, u and v. So this is the equation of hyperbola, that is u square upon sin square of c1 minus v square upon cos square of c1 equals to 1. So let's say c1 is pi by minus pi by 2. So sine of pi by 2 will be 1 and cos of pi by 2 will be what? 0. Okay, but as we know the vertex of this hyperbola, okay, I will discuss it from starting. So this is the equation of, standard equation of hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by b square equals to 1. Okay, so this is the standard equation of hyperbola. Now the vertex of this hyperbola will be a comma 0 and minus a comma 0. So according to this concept, our vertex will be, so what is sine of pi by 2? It will be 1. So our vertex will be 1 comma 0 and minus 1 comma 0. Okay, so I hope you understood. So our hyperbola will looks like this. Okay, now we are worried about the region. Now here it is given that u is negative. Okay, so our this side is considered. Now v is positive, so the upper half of v is considered. So this will be the region. Okay, so this region is transformed into the left hand region of the hyperbola. So I hope you understood this numerical. Now we will move towards our today's topic, that is bilinear transformation or Mobius transformation. So our today's topic is Mobius transformation. Okay, so the transformation w is equals to az plus b upon cz plus d, where a, b, c and d are the complex or real constants such that ad minus bc is not equals to 0, is known as Mobius transformation. Okay, so in the equation you will get a transformation in the form of w is equals to az plus b upon cz plus d, where you will find ad minus bc will be not equals to 0. So Mobius transformation is also known as bilinear transformation or linear fraction transformation. Okay, so remember these names, that is Mobius transformation is also known as bilinear transformation or linear fraction transformation. Okay, so now we will check one condition, that this transformation is conformal or not. Okay, so here we had given that w is az plus b and upon cz plus d. So w is equals to az plus b upon cz plus d. So now we will differentiate above equation with respect to z. So dw upon dz equals to d upon dz of this az plus b upon cz plus d. Okay, so according to the division rule of denominator, we will get cz plus d the whole square upon cz plus d into derivative of az plus b. So derivative of az plus b will be a, okay, minus in az plus b into derivative of denominator. So what will be the derivative of denominator? It will be c. Okay, so we have to open this bracket. So a into cz will be acz plus ad minus a into az, c into az will be acz plus bc upon cz plus d the whole square. Okay, so when we open this bracket, we will get minus of acz minus bc. So this minus of acz and plus acz gets cancelled. So we will get ad minus bc upon cz plus d the whole square. Okay, so in Mobius transformation there is the condition that that is ad minus bc is not equals to 0. So this ad minus bc will not be equals to 0. Okay, since ad minus bc is not equals to 0, the dw upon dz will be not equals to 0. Okay, that means derivative is not equals to 0. So our Mobius transformation is conformal. Okay, so this is the important point, that Mobius transformation is conformal. Okay, so what was the cases of conformal mapping? That its derivative should not be equals to 0 and the function should be analytic. Okay, so these are the conditions for conformal mapping. Okay, so our Mobius transformation, the theoretical part of Mobius transformation is completed. In next video we will learn the other topic, the extended topic of Mobius transformation, that is fixed points and cross ratio. So that's all. If you have any doubts, then please ask me in the comment section, and please feel free to ask. If you have the doubts, then clear it, because these doubts can hinder the success of your understanding. Okay, so please clear your doubts and subscribe to my channel for more educational videos, like and share. Okay, so have a good day and bye.